Princess, where are you?
Learning the truth about Shrek and Fiona had me feeling kinda crazy. Learning the truth about Shrek and Fiona had me feeling kinda crazy. The truth about fairy tales is they don't actually exist. The magic is real, but not the way we feel. I guess what I mean is we gotta face reality. No perfect woman, no man. You gotta find the one that is good enough, but then also character that stands out, can help you pick the right one without a doubt. I know love doesn't come easy, but if we train our ears and eyes to see the truth behind people's intentions, we shall find the right one. Okay, I know my princess is coming. She's gonna be the one for me. Shrek is a story about love between an ogre and a princess. After he rescues her, he realizes that she is his one true love. But she has got a different plan. She wants to get married to the king. What will Shrek do when he decides that he wants to fight for love? Shrek is one of the best animated stories ever told.
And that name is
beautiful and brilliant, full of soul.
I'm here till Thursday.
Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow.
You love this woman, don't you? Yes. You want to hold her? Yes. Please? Yes. Then you got.
Fight for love, whatever it takes. Shrek, you're gonna win all the way. Fight for love, whatever it takes.
Let's do that again. No.
You can make it. Fight for love, whatever it takes. Oh yeah, we're right back up on this. Today we shall be looking at the Shrek cinematic universe. In 2001, Shrek was produced featuring Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy, voicing Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey. We're going to look at its connection to a horror movie that just came out, and we're also going to talk about the likes of Despicable Me. What connection does Gru have to Austin Powers? You shall find out.
It's like he's from the 1940s or something.
Danishka Esterhazy is a legendary filmmaker, award-winning horror film star, responsible for low-budget horrors that make us queasy and sick like you can't believe. This year she worked on two films, Sniper: The Last Stand, which we talked about, a beautiful action film, and Match. Match is a horror live-action version of Shrek. That's right, the Fiona and Shrek fairy tale by DreamWorks. Well, this one is a lot more eerie and bad shit crazy like you can't believe. A low-budget, grotesque version of Catfish. If you have never dated anyone from the internet, beware, because you might never try internet dating again after watching this spooky movie, which was also inspired by the show Catfish, the MTV show. So there's a lot of inspiration, you know. It's inspired by Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Notre Dame film, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and also Shrek. So the film, though appearing like a low budget, clearly wasn't, and costed at least $100 million to make. It borrows inspiration from the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Leatherface character from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as just mentioned. Match is also very much a horror version of Shrek, the beloved ogre from DreamWorks. In 2001, DreamWorks writers and directors worked on Shrek. Originally, David Spade and his buddy Chris Farley were supposed to be behind the comedy antics of Shrek, as Chris Farley was to play an energetic version of Shrek and David Spade his faithful sidekick Donkey. Unfortunately, Chris Farley's life was cut short in '97, and that led to a major recast. Mike Myers, who at the time was famous for making Austin Powers, was then given the role of Shrek. Unlike Farley, Mike was encouraged to be less jovial and jokey, because it didn't fall naturally with his human character. Instead, Mike Myers channeled his anger, using his youth as inspiration to play an ogre. Get away from me, Donkey! He is hated and bored until the town needs him. That's when he's called upon to be a hero. As a child, Mike Myers suffered from depression, as most people just didn't like him. They hated him. They called him ugly and even monster, leading him to be a loner who has no friends. Oh, so sad. They made fun of his driver's license. Look at that ugly man. But look at him now. He's a handsome man. During his free time, he began to imagine that life was a Hollywood stage and he was the best comedy actor in the world. This was what led to his discovery by talent agents. They found him alone in his room doing voices and they thought he was simply brilliant. Hey, you can talk just like Mr. Bean. Crazy. Fast forward to 2001 and Mike Myers had already become a household name with movies like Wayne's World, which would serve as a live-action version of Beavis and Butthead. Beavis, you're lying. Mike Myers was catapulted to absolute superstardom. He calls himself Mike Myers as a joke that he is a serial killer from the Halloween film series. Truth is, he is not. He's just a practical joker who serves nothing more as a doppelganger. He does look like Michael Myers, right? Mike Myers is best known for Austin Powers. Yeah, baby. Groovy, baby. In it, he plays a British secret agent who must con women into believing he is a womanizer so that they can give him information about how to save the world from destruction. Dr. Evil. Truth is, the women are always the secret villains, and the only way for Austin Powers to get information from them is to trick them into believing he is madly in love with them. I love your style, baby. This strategy was used by James Bond in almost every film. Austin Powers has featured a number of femme fatales from Heather Graham to Elizabeth Hurley, and most recently, I mean like 2003, that's like a long time ago, Beyonce knows. The film has also starred actors renowned for playing James Bond, like Roger Moore, who made a cameo. It also had Michael Caine, who played Austin Powers' father. Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear. I love that song. The character Dr. Evil, who is also played by Mike Myers, became the inspiration, quote-unquote, for the animated smash hit movie series Despicable Me. Oh, that explains why Dr. Evil has a potato cut and also Gru also has a potato cut. I don't know if you understand. That means they are the same person. Mini-me, you better understand this. Gru is in fact a reformed version of Dr. Evil, working for the government to infiltrate evil and destroy it. But then you might ask, who is Austin Powers? Well, he doesn't have a place in this world, so Gru takes over from him and does his best to save the world. Believe it or not, Austin Powers is Megamind. If you remember the supervillain Megamind, Austin Powers, transforms into a Megamind, pretending to be a supervillain to save the world. So, the children that Gru adopts in part 1 of Despicable Me are destined to be the worst possible despicable villains. To stop them from committing mass acts of terrorism, Gru adopts them, but in truth they would rather he marries them. See, they're just like pretending to be very young people. They may be teenagers, maybe in the 16, 17 or 21. See, Gru is a celebrity villain who is loved by many evil women. The girls in the movie may be too young in appearance, but they certainly have huge crushes on him. So he's not going to be a pedophile or anything. He just wishes to father them and hopes that this strategy can stop them from achieving their ultimate mission as supervillains. Proof of this is that it should be Despicable Me 4 or 3. Oh, yeah. It should be in the Despicable Me series. It's one where they move to a different location, they change their appearance, and they take up new identities. Well, Gru is hunted down by one of the girls that has a huge crush on him, and she wants him to train her to be a supervillain. That's proof that he has a huge celebrity base of people that just love him. Okay, so we went through a rabbit hole here, but now back to our first two stories. The story of Shrek and Fiona, and its evolution in the movie Match. In Shrek, an ogre is hired to rescue a princess from a fire-breathing dragon. It's set in a fairy tale land far, far away. If the ogre can achieve the feat, then he is promised a wedding to the woman that he served. Oh, so sweet. Notice that Shrek also has similarity to the story in Super Mario. That's because Super Mario is a form of Shrek, He also has to save a princess from a fire-breathing dragon. Okay. So that's so fast. There's a plot twist, okay? Instead of the ogre saving the woman and marrying her, he's hired by Lord Farquaad, who is the king, to rescue the princess, then send her to him. That means Farquaad is cheating because he's the one who is to do the rescuing. Courtship, you have to rescue your princess. Due to his handsome and privileged status, Fiona chose him over the ogre. This form of storytelling was also used to highlight the unfairness of life. Previously in The Bodyguard, starring Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, and even Robin Hood films. all the Robin Hood films, you find that the bodyguard does all the work, meanwhile somebody else swoops in to get the princess. Oh, the idea that you can outsource bravery to achieve an end to a means is popular in the modern dating scene. If women can hire maids to do the child raising, then men can hire chauffeurs and bodyguards to do the protecting of the woman. In fact, we hire butchers, we hire farmers to cultivate our food when we are the ones who are supposed to provide and do the hunting and gathering. Without navigating, we can call Shrek a henchman, hired to do princess saving since Farquaad is too busy ruling and looking at how handsome he looks in the mirror. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? The big twist in Shrek's world is that the woman he has to save is an ogre like him, pretending to be a princess. She placed a spell upon her own heart to turn it into a gorgeous princess. Oh, to turn her and her heart into that of a beautiful princess. Only for an actual ogre to be the one to save her. Ironic. However, when the spell wears off, Fiona once again becomes an ogre. She lies to Shrek that her ogre-like appearance is a curse, and she hopes to break it by receiving true love's kiss. When it's time for her to kiss Farquaad, unfortunately for her, the curse is not broken. She then chooses Shrek to be her one true love, but then even him is not enough. Truth is, Fiona is not cursed. She's an ogre and must come to terms with her appearance. What happens next is she falls in love with Shrek and he accepts her just the way she is. Just the way you are. But she doesn't accept him, leading to major forms of infighting. Okay.
What?
Where an unlikely hero
You definitely need some Tic Tacs or something, because your breath stinks.
rescues a fair princess
You didn't slay the dragon?
It's on my to-do list.
from a nasty villain
Eat me.
with the help of his trusty companion.
So if you notice, they're constantly kind of fighting. In Shrek 2, Fiona orders Shrek to change his grotesque appearance or else he risks losing her love to Prince Charming. Shrek abides and gets a potion that turns him into a handsome human prince. Oh, truth is, this is how Shrek actually looks. He became an ogre after a curse was cast on him. Him and Donkey used to be human beings and then the witch cursed him. The curse would only be broken once he received true love's kiss. This means Shrek has been the chosen one all along. He has been cunning us this whole time. He is the beast from Beauty and the Beast. When him and Fiona first kissed, he was transformed back to his original appearance, which is a handsome prince. But then he made a deal with the witch who cursed him to turn him back into an ogre. This way his wife wouldn't feel ugly and awkward being a supermodel. In Shrek 2, his bride becomes too difficult. She wants to leave him and play the field, so Shrek transforms into his original appearance, which is a handsome prince. Oh, it's raining men. Hallelujah. This appearance scares Fiona because it means she could lose Shrek to a girl who is younger and hotter, like not on my watch. Fiona, despite at this point also being able to be a beautiful human being thanks to a portion, chooses to go back to her ogre-like appearance. She prefers to be an ogre like her husband than a beautiful princess. This way she can punish him by not being the woman of his dreams. This sadistic plan works out for Shrek because he sees no difference in Fiona's appearance. I mean, he does, but you know, high maintenance, if you know what I mean. The harder, the more expensive. He loves her just the way she is. Shrek starring Mike Myers as Shrek, Cameron Diaz as Fiona, and Eddie Murphy as Donkey was a smash hit at the box office and with the critics. It's one of the most beloved animations of all time. It helped usher in the new spoofing of famous Disney cartoons. It also demystified the myth that fairy tale characters are perfect. They're not perfect. Prince Charming is portrayed as evil and so is Fiona. Shrek, who is the traditional ugly ogre, is actually the hero this time. That is a huge twist because usually stories are the other way around. The handsome and the beautiful are the ones that lead the way. Sometimes the one society paints as ugly and grotesque is actually handsome or beautiful, both inside and outside. The Shrek movies encourage us to think deeper about life and the stereotypes we have about love and other drugs. Oops, I've said too much. Go watch Shrek again and again, damn it, it's beautiful. In Match, we have a story of internet dating gone wrong inspired by the Shrek movie series. Fiona plays a Latina gold digger who loves scamming men on the internet. She demands so much money from them such that when they meet her, they go berserk and run away from her so as fast as they can. No, this is not what I paid for. Truth is, Fiona is an ogre. In the entire movie, she sees herself as a beautiful princess, but she's different from that. But that's only on the internet. She uses graphics to modify her appearance. She did request huge sums of money from potential love interests. If you want to date me, you gotta pay me like $500 just for me talking to you. It's an honor to talk to me. When they meet, however, their love for her dwindles as they realize they have been catfished again, bamboozled. Satisfied with her unique way of love bargaining, Fiona decides once again to trick her ex-boyfriend. That sucker is gonna pay me a lot of money. He's an ogre like her, but unlike her, he has come to terms with his appearance. She promises to go out on a date with him if he could just offer her $1,000. $1,000? Are you out of your mind? For one night of romance. Well, this love stereotype and stuff. Shrek agrees to meet Fiona, simp, and even decides to hide his ogre appearance to cheer up his prospective princess. Well, it's not a simp, it's just in love. What happens next is not shown in the movie. Fiona stands Shrek up again and again and again. She doesn't appear at their dating location, meaning she's a runaway bride, leaving Shrek to cry and cry. I already gave her a down payment and she didn't show up to date me while she's out there partying with her friends. Girls just wanna have fun. Shrek decides to forgive Fiona and give her a second chance, but she continues to trick him again and again. Shrek now is fed up and vows revenge against his patronizing girlfriend. He sets Fiona up with his richer, much more handsome brother, Prince Charming. Okay, that will show her. Fiona is delighted as she quickly begins dating this handsome, rich Prince Charming. Oh, I love him. He's so amazing. Like, he has a way with words, using words like bigotry and fascism. I like him. One evening, Prince Charming invites Fiona to check on him and his mother. What she finds that evening is revenge for previous actions. Turns out this time it's Fiona who is getting tricked. When Fiona is not looking, Prince Charming and his mother knock Fiona over, unconscious. She collapses and is then kidnapped. Fiona wakes in the wheelchair. Oh, what happened? Tied up and about to face her worst nightmare. No! Leave me alone! Shrek, pretending to be a grotesque monster, comes over to meet her. Fiona is disgusted. Oh, I'm gonna puke. She protests until Shrek lets her go. He then begins to torment her by locking her in a room full of monsters. She's trapped. She can't escape. She's now facing a nightmare or a daymare. Fiona is a distraught, absolutely grief-stricken woman. The entire film has Fiona fighting to escape the evil clutches of Shrek and Prince Charming. At the last minute, Prince Charming has a change of heart and decides to let Princess Fiona go. Okay, she can go now. He frees her from bondage, but before she goes, she must fight and fight to get free from the evil family. The film carries an R rating for grotesque violence. It's very hard to stomach and will have you closing your eyes throughout the whole film. Like, I watch this part. The film is important in giving us a new perspective on the whole dating scenario. Hopefully you can learn one or two things from this movie. Phil Johnston is a legendary filmmaker famous for Zootopia, Wreck-It Ralph, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Soon Phil will return to our cinemas with the epic sequel, Zootopia 2. Can't wait for that. Before that, we can enjoy his film called The Twits. The Twits is a crime comedy animated film based on the famous children's novel called The Twits from the 1980s. The film is based on the experience by the writer of the novel, Roald Dahl. Roald faced harsh judgment from his overbearing grandparents. They didn't like the fact that he was a writer. Often they would pretend to be unkempt witches who haunt his nightmares. Oh, we are going to haunt you to death. Roald struggled so much as a teenager that as a way to get revenge against his evil grandparents, he wrote The Twits, a satire novel about an evil couple whom, after losing their jobs as circus magicians, become supervillains who aim to make the town pay for rejecting them and their foul ways. The Twits often play pranks on their town citizens and even on each other. These pranks have far-reaching consequences as they often lead to major disasters like droughts and water shortages to stop aspiring actors and future writers from doing their job well. The truth is, the Twits are just a front for an evil organization. Lex Luthor from the Superman universe is at it again. Secretly, he hires them to do damage to their town. They must make sure no teenager or young person has a smile. In the feature film, the Twits are at it again. This time, they're plotting revenge against the town that rejected them. The only one who can stop the Twits is their own granddaughter, Raven from the Teen Titans Go universe. Go! In this film, Raven pretends to be an orphan. It's an orphanage for gifted children. She's in hiding after disrupting things in the Teen Titans Go universe. Go! Superman finds her and his secret plan is unearthed. Sorry, Raven. Gotta go back to prison. Raven was supposed to disrupt the lives of talented teenagers at her school, but the mission got more and more dangerous. She is now forced to work with Superman and Robin, who is also hiding at the orphanage. Their mission is to stop the tweets from blowing up the Earth. Oh my god. They are partnered with evil monkeys who want to turn the world into a planet of the apes. To stop this evil plan from happening, Raven must do a lot of investigations. She must kidnap the animals and convince them to end their plans to take over the world with the tweets. The film features an ensemble cast of talents. Critically acclaimed actress Margot Martindale, who has starred in The Good Wife, The Firm, and even Hannah Montana the movie, plays Mrs. Credenza Tweet. Most acclaimed British comedian famous for shows like Drug History and The Graham Norton Show, Johnny Vegas, plays Mr. Tweet. Academy Award-winning legend Natalie Portman plays Mary Margot Wamp. The film received a mixed reaction from critics. Currently, it has a score of 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Understandably, it's not for everyone. Its use of toilet humor and bad jokes can be very controversial and disgusting. I mean, to blow up the mayor's breath. That's incredible. Some claim it's not suitable for children, with the jokes similar to the ones used in the Teen Titans Go and South Park. It's loud and unapologetic with a strong plot that racks your brain senseless. I bet you will love it, because for me it's a sweet ugly 10 out of 10.
My daddy bursts up stress balls sometimes.
It's just something that happens when I get a little anxious.
What kind of story is this?
Emotionally complex.
You take all the good out of life.
With highbrow themes.
Your family needs you.
And lowbrow comedy.
Let me show you my diarrhea. Diorama. What?
I don't want to live in a world where heat wins.
Let us in.
I don't think we'll be doing that today.
This is no normal story.
The heck?
The Twits.